everybody. Welcome to the EVES auction room here on a wet, cloudy day, but certainly not wet here. We're all here to give you the opportunity to purchase your new property. And of course, if you are our vendors, we thank you for entrusting us in the marketing of your property, and we wish you the best in your endeavours as well. We know it can be uncomfortable as you go through this process, folks, so if you have been residing in the property at the same time as we've been going through phase one of the auction campaign, we really do appreciate you working with us and allowing access for our buyers to come through and view your property, and we thank you for that as well. My name's Grant Child. My role today, folks, is fairly self-explanatory. And of course, I don't do it by myself. I've got a great team. We've got Robin looking after all the technology in the auction room. Now, of course, the owners have set reserve prices. That comes as no surprise whatsoever. But if we don't reach the owner's reserve price, then I'll simply put a pause on the auction. I'll then call on the skills of Trevor, Sarah, Craig, or one of the two Craigs, in fact, they will then step in and they will work with you at that junction, folks, to give you the opportunity to continue discussions with our sellers here today. Now, the reason that we do that, we're going to give you the first opportunity to purchase the property here today, because if we don't sell and I close the auction, anybody can come forward with an offer, and that does include conditional buyers. And I can tell you there's quite a few of them out there in the marketplace for a range of our properties that we're offering this afternoon. So we'll give you that opportunity today, folks. Of course, give it your best shot, and if I close the auction, anybody can come forward, but if you do reach agreement, we'll come in and we'll finalise everything back here in the auction room. So I'm just going to quickly whistle through the documentation, folks. I remind you that we have provided you with the buyers and sellers guide put out by the Real Estate Authority. You bid today on the basis that we have made that provision for you. Of course, they were at the stand and outside of the auction room as you came through the front doors here as well. That booklet, I'm not going to go through it in its entirety. You will have glanced at that and perused it. It gives you all the advice that you need to bid and buy at auction on a cash, unconditional basis. And of course, as is standard with all auctions right throughout the country, you are bidding on the basis you are deemed to have accepted the vendor's title without any rights of requisition as well. So to the contract of sale I'll take you now. It's been circulated in draft form, as you see there on the screen. Finalised copies are also available in that stand as you came in through the auction room. If there's been any amendments or any additions, deletions to that draft form, then I'll highlight those to you prior to your bidding today. So a very clear, concise and straightforward document, in my opinion, approved by the Auckland District Law Society and the Real Estate Institute of New Zealand. I'm not going to go through it in its entirety. By way of your bidding, it tells me that you've read, understood and accept that contract that we worked to today. But I'm just going to quickly revisit this section on the front page, folks. It covers off the conduct of auction. And then, as I said before, the owners have set reserve prices, no surprises there. Subject to that price being reached or exceeded, then the highest bidder on the fall of the hammer, you are then declared as the purchaser. And at that juncture, before commencing any celebrations, folks, we just asked you to exit through the back door of the auction room there, and your respective sales consultants will assist you, provide you that contract in its finalised form, which we require you just to complete. And at that juncture, we need your autograph on there. That completely seals the deal, and of course at that juncture we need you to pay your deposit, just asking for 10% of the purchase price here today, so nothing too onerous there. Balance of the payment is payable on the settlement date. They do vary from property to property, and I'll confirm that for you prior to providing your bidding, and of course that transaction is all done through your respective solicitors, so nothing too onerous there. Now, in terms of any disputed bidding, folks, as the auctioneer, my authority is to either determine that dispute or simply re-offer the property at the last undisputed bid. Some of the offerings today, folks, and I'll let you which ones when we come to each property, we do have authorised telephone bidding in place. You can take it from me that all the documentation has been completed, approved by the buyers and by our sellers in order to accept those bids via the telephone through our sales consultants. And of course, I will disclose that to you if we do have registered phone bidding on those properties. Telephone bidders, they bid on exactly the same terms and conditions you do here in the auction room, of course, on that cash unconditional basis. Now, if we've only got one person that's participating in the auction, folks, and I'm too far away from the owner's instructions, then I will assist you to get you and work alongside you to get you to that negotiating platform, and I'll do that by what we call vendor bids. Nothing to be afraid of as far as vendor bids are concerned, folks. I'm the only one that's authorised to submit bids on behalf of our seller. I will clearly disclose vendor bids to you by the use of those words, vendor bids. Right? And I will only use vendor bids at a level well below the owner's reserve price. And again, I will only use it to work alongside you and work with you to assist you to get you to that negotiating platform, which will be below the owner's reserve price, at which time we'll pause the auction and you can continue discussions privately from there. So nothing too onerous as far as that sort of thing is concerned as well. I'll be happy to answer any questions at this juncture. Whilst you might be thinking of one, I also take the liberty and the opportunity to welcome our viewers that are watching via the live stream as well. Our auctions go out over the World Wide Web, folks, so don't worry about it. The camera is only on me and the screen here, so it's not on you, unless of course you're up the front here. So just welcome to those viewers as well. No questions? No questions from any of our phone bidders? Right. Okay, without further ado, we'll move on. We did have the property. John Parrington was marketing property at 18 Waghorn Street, as was Jason Hyde Hills marketing property at 128C Vale Street. Both of those properties we had attracted good early interest in the property, and we had some buyers that presented an offer to our vendors that was acceptable to them, and those properties were sold prior to auction. So a good idea to make sure that you do register as you have all done just going forward, folks. If we do get pre-auction activity, we advise everybody to give everybody equal opportunity to secure the property as well. So congratulations to those buyers and sellers. This brings us to our first property up this afternoon. That's the property at number 29 Aaron Place. Rebecca Wilson, Julie Parkinson up front here from our Bethlehem office have been presenting this property. It's certainly one of those homes that ticks a lot of boxes, I suggest, for first home buyers. I would suggest a great opportunity here. Investors, well, you can expect a reasonable sort of a return on this property as well, given the information that the girls have provided in terms of rent appraisal. So looking at the legal aspects of it, it is a freehold estate, 511 square metres of land, more or less, as your land holding here, all described in record of title SA 61D folio 517. Of course, that record of title housed in the South Auckland Registry Office. I did alert you in my preamble, folks, we do have authorised telephone bidding in place for this property. Settlement date bill is still 90 days from today's date, bit of flexibility around that. Such other date is usually agreed. Any changes to the channels list at all? No changes there, so I would have thought so, not the way you've got your I's and crossed your T's. So constructed in 1997 with easy care in mind. I think that would have been part of the brief for the architect and the design of this place, is to make it a nice easy care property. So and of course the configuration is done as such for good flow throughout the property, connecting nicely to the outdoors as well. You've got that freehold site, so it's fully fenced, so the opportunity to just free range the kids and pets here, folks, and let them play freely within the confines of your own property there. Certainly handy location. You've got the Gordon Carmichael Reserve not too far away. Brookfield Shops again, and the Bethlehem Town Centre in different directions, but all within easy reach of your new home here at 29 Aaron Place. I say your new home, well, who's it going to be? Well, that's entirely up to you. You're the ones that are going to determine. So without further ado, I'll look for our opening bid now. Number 29 Aaron Place. Who says go, and what might the figure be? I'm sorry, sir, I can't take bids on anybody under the age of 18 years old. But where would you like to start with, sir? $640,000. Welcome aboard. I'm sure you're conveying that from the little one anyway. At $640,000, happy to take a $10,000 rise from there. At $650 we go now. At $650 over here on the right hand side. Against all the telephone bidders at this point in time. $660, sir, thank you. At $660 and 70 straight back now. At $670,000 back in front on the right hand side here. Don't let me loud. You've got your back. Got you over here on the left now, sir. At $680,000, I'll be back for 90. Yes, he says. At 690, rounding me to 7. Is it going to be you or is it going to be you at the back there, sir? At 607 we go. At 717 straight away now. We're here to sell to the highest bidder here today, folks. Over here at $710,000. Are we in or out? At 710 over the money. Are we in or out now? Happy to take a 5, but it's going to help you there. 715 we go. 20 straight back immediate for 12 here. Right hand side here at 720 triple. Another 5 is it there, sir? We'll be a good 7.25 it is. At $725,000. Checking the figure there, Kale. Where do we go from here? Selling over here at 7.25. Are we in or out? Who's still now at 720? The single, 26. Sir, you were going to do something. 730 was it? Or you? 726, I bid down here. 30, 730. That's $730,000. Welcome aboard there, sir. Good play for the Keys now at 730. Maybe another single on top. Here's their opportunity now. Otherwise, it's gone at $730,000 even. Are we in or out? Sir, it's an even number. Tip it on its side. Go a little bit over and see what happens. If I go again, you haven't spent a cent, but otherwise I sell at $730,000. Maybe a lazy single, dig deep at the bottom of the purse there. 31 we go. At 731. Strategic move, would we go 5, sir? 735? 735, confirming bid there. 1,000, okay, no problems at all. Just a little bit harder to hear you behind the masks. At 732, the money in the back of the room now. At 732. Another lazy single, is it down the bottom of the bag there? At $732,000, are we absolutely sure? What about a 500? One more? One more, 733. 34. 35. 36. 736. A good jump would be 740, sir. Otherwise, I sell at the back of the room at 736,000. What about our starter? Back in again now? No? I'm sure the babies picked the room. At $736,000, I sell. In or out? First call now at 736. Won't be taking any late bids. Hammers up. Second time now at $736,000. And we've got your absolute best now. Selling away at 737. 737. You take 500? We're well past that, sir. But yeah, I will take $500. No problems at all. 737.5, sir. Slowing it down like that tells me the tank's emptying out. A good strategic move to put another single on top, make it 738.5. Just a suggestion.
Yeah, all right, 500.
500 more, 738. Another half, is it, sir? Half. 738.5. 39?
Thanks, sir.
Hey?
No more, it's fine.
Absolutely 100% sure. Otherwise, I sell at $738,500 at the back of the room there. In or out? First call now at 738.5 it goes. Second time runs out. Third, final opportunity, absolutely 100% sure. Selling away now at 738.5 it goes. It's all at the back of the room there at 738.5. Appreciate your spirit of doing that, folks. Congratulations on that. Alright, moving on to our second one for the afternoon, folks. 34B Pies Park Road. Ben Dickinson from our Lakes office has been particularly busy marketing this property here, and I think being fair to say it's probably been busy because of the low maintenance aspect of this property, being that brick and of course a geothermal site as well. So very popular property indeed in such a great location. It is a freehold estate, folks. 404 square metres of land, more or less, is what you purchase here at 34B Pies Park Road. 271472, the record of title number that confirms all the legal aspects of the property. Now, we did have some additions, late additions to the channels list, of course, added in favour of you, the purchasers. The dishwasher has been added and it stays, as does the garage, one of the garage door remotes as well. So, any other changes to the channels list there, Ben? No changes. No changes there. Settlement date still 21 working days from today's date. Bit of flexibility around that as well. So just confirming all the legal aspects for you. Back to the property itself, folks. Been redecorated with a fresh coat of paint on the ceilings and the walls as well. You've got the new carpet drapes and of course that new heat pump added as well. So and of course they serve as a purpose for cooling in the summer. So we're not too far away indeed from that. A well-designed home to utilise the most of this cosy space in the property as well. It's elevated setback from the road, so that's an added bonus as well. Super handy to local shopping with the Pies Park area and the main arterial routes all not too far away from your new home, 34B Pies Park Road. So where would you like to start my way for this one, folks? Just looking for a fair reasonable start. What might that be?
650.
$650,000. Welcome aboard there, sir. At $650,000, the treble and $20,000 rises from here. At $650,000 and 670 we go. Back to you for 90, sir. 690 it is now. At 690, 710 it is. At 710 directly behind you, making it 730. Show me there, sir. At $710,000, are we in around now? 30 it is. At 730, rounding it to $750,000 now. At an even $750,000 directly behind you, sir. At 750, 770 it is now, and 790. At $790,000 against you in front there, sir. At 790, perhaps rounding me to 800. At $790,000, here's your opportunity now. Would it make a difference for you, sir, if I told you I'm going to sell to the highest bidder here today? At 790, making it 800 even, shall we? At 800 even on the night, at 810 immediate retort now. At 810, triple over money, it's against you, sir. Strategic move would be go stay in the 10s, go straight to 820, and he says yes. At 820, at 830 now. At 830 and 40, are you back in again there, sir, and 40 here. At 840, rounding me to 8.5, shall we there, folks, at $840,000, directly in front of you here with the gentleman here at 840, happy to take the 5. Just confirm the bid then. At 845 it is now. At 845, 50. At 50 straight back. At 850 another 555. 855 triple O. At $855,000. Sir, you've been travelling so well. Stay with me now. We're just getting to know each other. Happy to take that single, no problems at all. At 856 and 57 immediate return, the same denomination. At 857 singles hand at 858. 59, opening the door for 860 for you. At $859,000, directly behind you there. Where do we go from here? I sell to the highest bidder, and at 60, he's back. 61, not letting it go just yet. At 861, triple O, making it 2, shall we there, sir? Here's your opportunity. Looking to you for the authority to bid again, man. At 862 it is. 62 and 3. At 863, making quite a rounded to, shall we round it to 865, sir, and see what happens? Okay, good round. 865. Another single isn't there, man, or are you going to go with the 2s as well?
66.
66. Clickety click. 866. So a good strategic move I would suggest would be go straight 870 and see what happens. Might be a good move to secure the product. Okay, just a single, is it?
Yes.
67, 68.
70.
870? 870 it is. At 870. You'll move from here, sir. Round the board we go at $870,000 stalling here. I sell at 870. Another single, is it? First call now at $870,000. Have I got your excellent? 100% there, sir. Second time now at $870,001. 71. 72. 73. 872. I say it week after week in the auction room, sir. Property well forward is property well bought. At $872,000. And selling. Hammers up. Don't try and prejudge the speed of the hammer circus that will beat you every time. I need your absolute best. 73. 74. 75. 6. 876. Round it to 880s. Just a bit of friendly advice. $876,000 in selling. First call me up at 876. Have I got your absolute 100% best yet, sir? Second time now at 876 triple O, and it goes. For the third and final time, 77. 78. 80. Try the 80, sir. It's only another 2,000 if they go again. You haven't spent anything, but it might be their top dollar to land on. At $878,000. Shall we go 880? You go a single, you open the door for 880 for them. Then alright, sir, I need a decision. Need to be fair to both of you. At $878,000. It goes. Once. Twice. Third. Last opportunity. Have I got your absolute 100%, sir? Quickly. It is going. It is going. It is. Thank you, folks. Appreciate the spirit of doing that soon. Of course, congratulations to our sellers. For those of you who have just joined us, folks, for the Project 5 Waihart Street, thank you very much. We really appreciate you working with us and assisting us in complying with all the social distancing requirements, and you're all looking absolutely wonderful with your various coloured masks on out there. So, of course, we wish you the best in your endeavours here for number 5 Waihart Street. Fran Harmon's been marketing this property. In fact, Fran, it was only earlier this week that I got a notification that you listed this property for auction. I think my email to you congratulating you was saying if I was a gambling man I'd put money on it, this property doesn't make it to auction day, and I was right. Well, I should have put a couple of hundred on that, shouldn't I? Yeah. So this property, folks, the auction has been brought forward. The owner is in contract, and the auction has been brought forward to give all of you with that early interest in the property the equal opportunity to purchase the property. So a couple of variations because the auction has been brought forward. The owner has set the reserve price at the level of the pre-auction contract. I will disclose that to you very shortly, and I will then invite any bids over that level. Robin will put the figure up on the screen in the slot where the bids go. It is not a bid, it is just disclosing to you in writing the level of the pre-auction contract, and then we'll move on from there with any bids from there on the property we sold to the highest bidder. You've got that ample deck on the property, as you see there on the screen there, tucked very nicely in there is the louver roof with the feature LED lighting for your alfresco entertaining that you're going to really enjoy in this property. But look at that wonderful land space out there. Certainly plenty of room there, Fran, to add a pool with just a bit of extra landscaping and that, just to intimidate the property a little bit more if you want to do that sort of thing. But it's certainly a wonderful property as it is. It is a freehold estate, folks, 571 square metres of land, more or less, is your land holding. Record of title 633618 describes all the legal aspects of the property. Of course, the Australia lemon tree, just the one of those that's excluded from the sale. The owners will be taking that with them. We do have authorised telephone bidding in place for this one as well. Trevor Hanson, our manager at the back of the room, has a buyer on the phone. Fran, 20th of January 2022, still the settlement date on this one. Bit of flexibility around that. If you need an alternative date, then talk to Fran about that as well. Any other changes to the channel? This is a very comprehensive one you would expect from a property of this calibre as well. No changes. So certainly a home that oozes charm and quality, folks. It's pristine presentation. Certainly camouflages very nicely the 2014-15 build. So well configured, 184 square metre more or less footprint to maximise the family space to the max right throughout the home. You've got that superb connection, as I mentioned, with the outdoors from the indoors as well. Local caravan parking at the side of the house, so if you've got either of those items, we can take care of it for you here at 5 Waihart Street. Approximately 700 metre walk, and you're at the Golden Sands School. You've got the Suzanne Alba Catholic School even closer, and the shops and the beach all not too far away. And I think that's probably a fundamental reason, Fran, why we're here today and not the scheduled auction date. So, like I said, folks, the owner is in contract. That contract has been signed at $1.2 million. I'm going to be happy to take anything on top of that. Perhaps a $10,000 rise. Opportunity is here, folks. Don't dilly-dally. Happy to take anything you want to put on top.
5,000.
5,000. Happy to take that at $1,205,000. We're on the market to sell the highest bidder here today at $1,205,000. Early and wrap. At 1.205 it is, and 210 we say now. At 1,210, back with our folk higher in the room now. Against your bidder there, Trevor, at $1,210,000. 15 do we say for them at the back of the room there? I'm going to be participating now. 1,215 isn't, otherwise I sell down here at 1,210,000. Don't let me leave you out on the left-hand side of the room here, folks. I'm here to sell today. Highest bidder runs it. First call now at $1,210,000. Alley and routes. Second time now against your bidder there, Trevor. 11. Down to the singles now. 15. Shall we go, sir? 15 it is. That's a good strategic move to stay in front there, sir, keeping the lead. At $1,215,000, or do we have another single in the back there? Happy to take singles over here on the left-hand side if that's going to help you. But we're here to sell the property under the hammer today. At 1,215,000 it goes. First call now, $1,215,000 hasn't done its time. Second time looking for any advance on top.
20.
20. 1,220,000. Good strategic move, sir. Do we go 225? 225 it is. At 1,225,000. 1, 2 1/4, making it 123, shall we, sir? At 123 it is now. $1,230,000. 35, do we say? 35 it is. At 1235 000, selling over here. That's 40 now. 1240, 45, 45, 50, 50, 55, 55, 60.
Take 2.5.
Yep, no problems at all. Here to sell with the highest bidder, 127,500. 125,7,500 rather. 126 is it, sir? Yeah. 126. Another 2.5, sir. Spend everything in the tank.
Yeah.
1260 000 selling over here. What about our fine bit of trimmer? And we're out. First call out, $1,260,000. I sell over here. And we're out, sir. What about a lazy single? You might want to look over your right shoulder, sir. She's looking at you, and I'm pretty sure it's the seal of approval to keep going. 2, 160, 1262. 65, sir? 65. Didn't quite work, sir. 1265. 127 up. Certainly a man that knows the meaning of happy wife, happy life. 1270 000. What about you, sir? Where do we go from here? Making it 1, 2 3/4, do we?
75.
75. Wrong signal, sir. Need it north to south, tip to chest. 1275 and selling. 1, 2 3/4 the money, and we've got your absolute best. What about a lazy single? Dig down deep there. Break the piggy bank open, the kids will love you for it. So it's 76. 1276. 280.
277.
77. 78. Down to the singles.
9.
79. 80. 280. 81. 81. About $7,000 ago, you didn't go me the same signal, sir. I need to check with you. $1,281,000. It sells away here. Absolutely 100% sure there, sir. What about one final lunch for the keys? At 1281 000, selling over here. Absolutely 100% sure. First call now. Second time. Third. Last chance, sir. Quickly. It goes. It goes. Sold you, sir. Congratulations to our sellers. We'll be back with you very shortly once for our afternoon session. Can you please just make sure that you do remain 2 metres apart? Thank you. Really appreciate that. So we just have to space our properties out. Unfortunately, that means that I just have to run through my preamble again. Just to confirm that everybody is fully understanding the terms and conditions that we bid on here today. So my name's Grant Child. My role is quite simple. It's simply to facilitate proceedings. Robin will look after all the technology. And we've also got women had to use their skills at this stage. They're the first 3 properties in the 1 o'clock session, all just sailed on to the vendor's expectations was sold under the hammer. But if we don't reach the owner's reserve price, I'll put a pause on the auction, and one of the team here, either Trevor, Sarah, or one of the 2 Craigs, they will start working with you at that point in time. Whilst the auction is paused, I'll carry on with the next property so we don't hold people up. But we're going to give you that opportunity to continue discussions with our sellers to help you try and buy the property today, because if you don't, and I formally close the auction, anybody can come forward with an offer, and that does include conditional buyers as well. So let's quickly whistle through the documentation, folks. You bid and buy on the basis we've provided you with the buyers and sellers guide put out by the Real Estate Authority. Of course, we've supplied those to you at all the inspections, plus they're available in the stand as you enter into the auction room. That booklet gives you all the advice to bid and buy on a cash unconditional basis at auction, and as is standard right throughout Aotearoa, is on the basis that you are deemed to have accepted the vendor's title without any rights of requisition. So To the contract of sale we work through now, I take you, circulated in draft form, finalised copies also available in that stand. If there's been any changes to the draft documentation circulated, I'll alert you to that when we get to the respective properties, folks. So by way of your bidding today, I'm going to assume that you've read, understood and accept that contract, certainly a very clear, concise document already approved by the Auckland District Law Society and the Real Estate Institute of New Zealand. This section here on the front page, folks, under clause 2, sets out very clearly the conduct of today's auction. We've superimposed that in blue, but we don't expect you to read it word for word. Just in terms of paraphrasing that, it simply says that the owners have set reserve prices subject to that price being reached or exceeded. Then on the fall of the hammer, you are then declared as the purchaser. And prior to commencing your celebrations, folks, we firstly require you to sign that contract and confirm it, enter all the details in there of your name and everything, and of course the purchase price goes in there that we'll determine here today. And of course your requirement is then on that purchase price is to pay 10% of it as part of deposit. The balance is then payable on settlement date. I'll confirm those dates as we work from property to property through our 130 session. The other thing that it sets out for you very clearly, folks, is that there's any disputed bidding. It authorises me as the auctioneer to arbitrate that dispute, or I can simply revert to the last undisputed bid and we'll press on from there, but we don't anticipate any of that this afternoon. We do have authorised telephone bidding on a number of our properties this afternoon, folks, and all documentation is in place authorised by our buyers and sellers to accept those bids. So pretty straightforward process. Now, if I've only got one person that's participating in the auction, folks, and I'm too far away from the owner's reserve price, then I'll simply work alongside you to get you onto the negotiating platform, and I'll do that by what we call vendor bids. Nothing to be afraid of as far as the vendor bid is concerned. I'm the only one authorised to submit a vendor bid. I will, funnily enough, call it a vendor bid, so clearly disclosing any vendor bids well away from the owner's reserve price. And I'm only doing it to assist you once you're at a point where the vendor is happy to continue negotiations. If there's no further bidding, I'll pause the auction and give you that opportunity to discuss from there. So, pretty straightforward process. Have there been any questions at this point in time? No questions? Of course, again, for the viewers that have just joined us via the live stream, we welcome you as well. And of course, some of our absentee buyers and sellers are watching via the live stream. Don't worry, folks, the camera's only on me and on the screen, so you're not going out over the World Wide Web like I am. So without further ado, we'll press on to the first property, and that is, of course, 305 Waihee Road. David Bloomhart, Barbara Sternberg from our Bethlehem office. You guys must have had an absolute joy marketing this property. It's got some real nostalgia to it, this property. Meticulous attention to detail has created an environment that really does nicely combine tradition and a touch of nostalgia with modern comforts in this early 1900s villa. Look at the characteristic charm and benefits of the property there. Certainly superb indeed. Legally described as a freehold estate, this villa purchased itself very nicely on 781 square metres of land, more or less. All described in record of title SA 17C folio 243. Of course, that's housed nicely tucked away in the South Auckland Registry Office. Now, the fireplace surround and the outdoor fireplace are not included in the sale. The owners are taking it with them. 29th of October 2021, the settlement date. Any changes, any additions, deletions to the chapels? Let's go over the changes there. Just a quick reminder, folks, the additional clause in the contract, clause 22, purchasers acknowledge and accept that you've been fully informed that aspects of the property or buildings as defined in the Building Act may not comply with the Building Act. 22.1, there was no record of a consent for the deck which was completed by a previous owner and may not comply. Clause 22.2, the kitchen in the property is located in a different position than what was shown on the council plans. This was completed by a previous owner and may not comply. And clause 22.3, due to the age of the dwelling, there may be a lack of permits or consents for the dwelling and any alterations therein. Accordingly, the vendor warranty is pursuant to clause 9.35 in the general terms of sale in relation to what I've just outlined to you are hereby deleted, and the parties agree that clause 11 is also deleted, and that pertains to any claims for compensation. So nothing untoward from a property of this vintage, is it, team? So pretty straightforward, and I draw your attention back to the beautiful character and charm. Look at that, it's absolutely superb outdoor entertaining area. That certainly complements the cosy interior of the property. Imagine long lingering summer evenings dappled with in the shade of the trees that screen this dwelling absolutely superbly from the road as well. You can just about visualise it, you can almost feel yourself in an environment like this in these wonderful summer nights ahead of us in the not too distant future. Certainly a home that invites family and guests alike to kick back, relax and perhaps surrender that delightful farmhouse vibe as well. So surrender to that farmhouse vibe. Certainly a superb environment indeed. Without question, this is a home that you will relish living in, folks, set in that convenient central location with easy access to all directions to everything that our wonderful city has to offer. So in your hands, guys, who would you like to start their way now for 305 Waihi Road? This is a very compelling description of the property. Setting everybody into the bidding spirit. What about 750? Somebody starting away at 750 grand. I would have thought that would be a fair and reasonable start for a property of this calibre. Thank you, sir. Welcome aboard there. At $750,000 on the right-hand side, and taking $20,000 rises from a property of this calibre in this location at 750. On my right-hand side, against everybody else here, folks, at 750, take me to 770. Who's it going to be? First call now at $750,000. Second time, are you in or out? Third, Lassa, thank you. Welcome aboard there, sir. At $770,000 back to you. 90 over here at 790. Three of you in it at this point in time. At 790, take me through to 810, shall we? As it got you over here with my starter now at 810 and 30 here. At 830 straight away, immediate retort now. At 830, 50, your turn. Shall we go there, sir? 850, the money and 70 straight away now. At $870,000, have I got your best yet, sir? At $870,000, be clear. I sell for the highest bidder here today. We're on the market. 870 buys the property at this point in time. What about a 10 on top? Shall we go there, sir? At $870,000, what about you over here on the left-hand side? At 870. 880 is it there, sir? Take anything you want to put on top, maybe a 5 to give you that opportunity. Put yourself back in front. Otherwise, it sells over here at 875. 875 in the nick of time now. 880, do we say this? Already going to stay in tens. 8 3/4 it is over here. 890. Beautiful work there, sir, at 890. At $890,000, the strategic move that would make sense to me would be go straight to 900. But you can be the governor of that there, sir, because I'm here to help you spend your money and I'll do it for you. At $890,000. What about 5 more? How about you over here on the left-hand side here? I sell at 890. Have we got your absolute best? Dig deep, maybe a 2.5. Sure, you give it one more crack, sir. Even take a single if it's going to help you there. Otherwise, it goes at 890. First call now at $890,000 against everybody here. Second call now at 890. It goes. Third, last opportunity, 890,000 even. Selling away, going. Sold to our sellers, of course, appreciate your spirit of bidding, folks. Alright, pressing on straight through to our second property for our 130 session, folks. 54 Rinse Avenue. Nicholas Delaney, you've been the marketing consultant for this property group out of our Blake's office. Now, this auction was actually scheduled for David. We just have your attention, please, folks. Important information here. This property was actually scheduled for auction, I think it was next week, Nicholas, but yesterday we received an offer from a buyer. Couldn't wait until next week, put an offer forward to the vendors. Vendors have accepted the auction has been brought forward today, just today to give them all that equal opportunity. Therefore, there will be no vendor bidding on this property, folks. I'm going to leave it entirely open to you. I'll disclose the level of the pre-auction offer very shortly and invite any bids over that level. So 54 Links Avenue, ideally positioned between the Bayfair shops and the Omanu School. So you don't have to wait until next week to buy this property. Strategically positioned for good shopping and quality education for your children indeed. A freehold estate, 708 square metres of land more or less is what's on offer. All described in record of title SA 68 folio 1233. Of course, the South Auckland Registry Office is the home of that record of title number. An additional clause in the contract, I just need to go through this with you folks. Firstly, inserted at the request of the vendor's solicitor is the authority for early release of the deposit in accordance with the Real Estate Agents Act section 1232 of the Real Estate Agents Act 2008. More importantly, clause 24, the parties acknowledge and agree that a building consent was issued by the local council for the removal of a load-bearing wall and the installation of an engineered design beam. The vendor has confirmed that the work was carried out in accordance with the building consent. A final inspection of that work was undertaken by council, and a copy of the final site notice confirming the works passed the inspection is attached to the contract. No code compliance certificate was issued due to the time frame lapsing under the building consent. Therefore, the purchaser enters into the contract today and accept the property on this express understanding with no claim against the vendor under the vendor warranties pursuant to clause 9.35C, so far as it relates to the works undertaken contained in the inspection notice. So just bidding on that basis with full knowledge of that work that was done to the property. 14th of January 2022, the settlement date. Been amended to that figure. There was some documentation circulated stipulating a settlement of 97 days. That's amended to the 14th of January. Any changes to the channels list there, Nicholas? No changes there. So the main open plan living room certainly boasts oodles of sun, and that's generated by that northerly aspect of the home. The original honey-tone timber floors and the heat pump enhancing the warmth and character of this bungalow perched at 54 Lynx Avenue. The dining area flanks the updated kitchen, the freestanding stainless steel gas electric cooker certainly complemented by the denim blue cabinetry in there. Just does make for fine gourmet delights coming out of your new kitchen when you purchase the property here in the next few moments. Certainly a very practical, functional family home, and it's one of those ones, folks, you need to act right here, right now, otherwise it's sold. And that figure signed in contract last night was $1,337,500. $1,337,500. Happy to take a $500 bid, make it 1,338 if you wish there, folks. Your opportunity is here. Calling it 3 times, otherwise it's gone. First call now, are you in or else? Not here to dilly-dally. Second time, third. Last opportunity for you to join us, folks, otherwise it's sold. 1,337,500. Anything on top? Nicholas, no further bids here today. I now declare the property. Alright, moving straight on, number 1, Darris Lane, Teresa Lee from our Cameron Road office been marketing this property, a property that's clad in brick and topped off with concrete tiles there. Add to that the great parking and the thoughtful landscaping, and you have certainly found a winner in this property here at number 1, Darris Lane. Freehold estate, 413 square metres of land, more or less is what's on offer, all described in record title 527960. Now just a reminder that the garden art, the potted plants and the indoor washing line are excluded from the sale. Any other changes to the sound channels list there? Alright, settlement date remains at 26th of November 2021. And just an additional clause in the contract is clause 22, just authorises early release of the deposit at the request of the vendor's solicitor. And clause 23, the vendor remarks that the channels included in the sale are in the same condition as at the date of the agreement, their wear and tear accepted, and this clause replaces clause 9.31, which is hereby deleted. So on that basis, folks, we press on. North-facing living area where you will enjoy an abundance of sunshine both winter and summer from this home here. Certainly flowing smoothly from the living area of this wee sanctuary, ticks all the boxes when it comes to that Kiwi way of living, and of course that is what we've all become accustomed to, wonderful indoor-outdoor flow. Certainly lovingly created with low maintenance living in mind, but I suspect to you folks that's where you're going to spend many, many hours throughout the summertime with family and friends. Of course the location of the property, nice and handy for good schooling. You've got the Brookfield shops not too far away to cater for all your needs. Everything from the liquor store to the wonderful New World supermarket, so everything all but a short distance away from your new home. One Darris Lane, folks, in your hands. Where would you like to start the auction away for this one?
800.
At $800,000, we're happy to take a start at 800, 000, and we'll travel at $20,000 rises from here at $800,000. On the back wall now at 800, and for 20 we first call now, second time. Third, last opportunity to get on the bike and pedaling. Are we around now? And then work alongside you there, man, with the vendor bid now at 820, making it 40, shall we? At 840 on the nod here. At $840,000, 60 is the next number they're chasing down now. At 840 000, first call now for a 20 rise. Second time. Third, last opportunity, are we in around? Happy to go 860 on behalf of the owner then, very clearly. 860 is with me, making it 880 your turn. At 880 on the nod now. At $880,000, there it is with my starter on the back wall now. Inviting anybody else still staying in 20s at this juncture now. At $880,000, round me to 9 if you will. Once I call now at 880 000, second time. Third, last opportunity for that 20 rise. Happy to advance on behalf of the owner then at $900,000 even. 920 your turn. At $920,000, I bid at the back of the group there with my starter, certainly knowing value at $920,000, looking for now. At 920, at 920, chasing down that extra 20 now, are we around? Puts at 920 on the back wall, at 920. At 920 it is. Looking for 40 now, first call, second time. Third, last opportunity. Right, you go once more on behalf of the seller there, man. 940 is with me. Take me to 960. We'll give you the opportunity to keep discussing with the seller. $940,000 with me. Then you'll bid at this point in time. Happy to take 10 if it'll help you. Make it 950?
Yeah.
950 it is. At 950, happy to take from a 10 from anywhere else. Otherwise, we pause and talk at the back of the room there at 950. First of all, now, are we in a route? Second time, third. Last opportunity for you to join us at 958, or we pause and talk at the back. Last chance. Craig, at the back there at $950,000. Can you see if you can assist the lady, please? Appreciate you working with me as well, man. Well, for those of you that have just joined us, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We'll now move on to our 2 o'clock session. We've still got a property in our 1:30 session that's still being negotiated at this point in time, but we know you're all busy people like we are at EVES, so we'll press on. Unfortunately, we have, because of the social distancing and everything, we have to keep everybody separate, but we do appreciate you working alongside us and working with us in compliance with the social distance. But what it does mean is that each session we come to, I do need to go through my preamble just to make sure that everybody is bidding and buying on the correct terms and conditions. So my name is Grant Child-Morrow, to simply facilitate proceedings here for those of you that have just joined us, for those of you that have been with us for a while and witnessing how the process is out there in the reception area. Bear with us while we do go through this. Of course, Rob and Shell look after the technology in the auction room. As I mentioned, folks, one of the properties from our 1:30 session is being negotiated. So if we don't reach the owner's reserve price, we'll simply pause the auction. One of the team here, Trevor, Sarah, or one of the two Craigs will step in. We'll give you that opportunity, like those folks, and giving them the opportunity to continue discussions with our sellers to see if we can't help you bring people and property together and conclude your property that you are in pursuit of here today. So I'm going to quickly run through the documentation. Of course, the buyers and sellers guides have been widely circulated out there for you. They are available on the stand outside of the room. And of course, when you sign the contract today, it is on the basis that we have provided this booklet to you that gives you all the guide and all the necessary advice that you need to be able to bid and buy at auction, which is of course on that cash unconditional basis. And as a standard right throughout the country, bidding at auction you are based on the basis that you are deemed to have accepted the vendor's title without any rights of requisition. So to the contract for sale, I take you now, been circulated widely out there in the marketplace in draft form. If there's been any amendments, any additions or deletions to that contract, I will alert you to that. But finalised copies have been on display in the same stand as you enter into the auction room as well. So by way of your bidding, folks, I'm going to assume that you've read, understood and accept that contract that we worked to. But I'm going to revisit this section here on the front page. We've superimposed it in blue for you. Don't expect you to read it word for word, but that outlines the conduct of today's auction, which simply says that the owners have set reserve prices subject to that being reached or indeed exceeded. Then the highest bidder on the fall of the hammer, you are then declared as the purchaser from that point on, and your only obligations today are of course to complete and sign the documentation, being that contract of sale, and part with a little bit of your hard-earned cash is 10% of the purchase price payable today. The balance is then of course payable on settlement date, but that's all transacted through your respective solicitors, so nothing too onerous for you to worry about. Just got to make sure that the money's in the bank and ready to go. So in terms of any disputed bidding, folks, today I'm authorised as the auctioneer to either arbitrate the dispute or indeed re-offer the property at the last undisputed bid. So pretty simple resolution, but we don't anticipate any of that happening. If there's any telephone bidding authorised, folks, you can take it from me. All the documentation is signed by the buyer and the seller approving that to happen. Telephone bidders, they bid on the same terms and conditions as you do, being that cash unconditional basis as well. So if I've only got one person that's participating in the auction, folks, as I did with that previous property in the last session, I will work with you and work alongside you to assist you to get you to the negotiating platform and help you purchase the property, and I'll do that by what we call vendor bids. I'll disclose all vendor bids to you folks for total transparency. Vendor bids will only ever be used below the owner's reserve price, and again only ever used to work alongside you to get you to that negotiating platform and give you that opportunity to continue discussions with our sellers. So a pretty straightforward process. Happy to answer any questions at this juncture before we move on and offer you our first property. And of course, for those of us that have just joined us via the live stream, of course we welcome you as well. Auctions all live streamed out over the World Wide Web, thanks to Auctions Live in Australia, and certainly provides transparency for buyers that are unable to attend here. So no questions? Right, the press going on, folks. 72 Big Gander Drive. Ashley McGregor from our back car office has been the marketing consultant for this one here. Now, the cash buyers, you need to really do something on this property, because conversation with Ashlyn earlier today was we do have buyers that are waiting on a notification from the bank for their approval of finance on this property. So your opportunity, if you're in that position of cash, is to get in today and secure the property ahead of those buyers. Certainly a 1990s abode where space is optimised, comforts assured, right down to the internet booster that's been installed in the property as well. It is a freehold estate, 375 square metres of land more or less is what is on offer, all described in record of title SA 57B, volume 533. Now the clothesline is that's broken, so it does stay, but it's as is where it is. So and clause 9.35 is deleted in this property in the contract for this property. That relates to the vendor warranties. And Thursday, the 21st of October 2021, the settlement date. Ashlyn, any other changes to the channel system? No other changes there. I see up there on the screen that the firewall is even staying as well. Hopefully you won't need to use that for too much longer as the weather warms up with daylight savings starting this weekend. Of course, the kitchen was renovated last month. You will have witnessed that when you went and viewed the property. Certainly we have renovated to a standard where your nightly feasts are going to taste so much better being produced out of a kitchen like this. Insulation is certainly a key ingredient to the renovation, making this home nice and toasty in winter, and of course that's going to transfer to being nice and cool in the summer months ahead of us as well. You've got the wood burner, the wall heaters, but I think important with this property is the HRV system, so certainly lovely temperature control in this home at 72 BBN to drive. You've got the garage and the extra car spacing there as well. You've got the wonderful fruit trees, quite an array of those around the section, and of course the local Johnson Reserve, kindergarten, and the ever popular Selwyn Ridge Primary School, all not too far away from your new home at 72 BBN to drive. Like I said, buyers, we've got a couple of buyers that are waiting to hear back from the bank their final approval on their finance, so your opportunity, if you're in cash, is to get it right here, right now. I'm not going to suggest any figures here for you, folks. Going to leave it entirely over here because we're more than happy to keep working with our buyers outside of the auction room. But cash buyers, you get the first opportunity here today. Where would you like to start your way? Good investment opportunity, good first home buyer property, nice and comfortable, nicely renovated for you. First call now for a start. Second time. Third, final opportunity for cash interest in or outs. No cash here today, Ashton. I'm going to close the auction, hand it back to you, leave you to continue working. Those buyers are going to be delighted to hear from you, knowing that the property is still available, and I'll be expecting a text message from you either this evening or certainly tomorrow, letting you know that you've got the property under contract, subject to those buyers obtaining their sufficient finance. Well, we'll move straight on to 4/23 3rd Avenue, marketed by Teresa Lee. Teresa was tied up in those negotiations I made reference to just a few moments ago with the previous property in our 1:30 session, so we'll press on, and there she is, just popping out of the room now. Situated on the upper level of being roadfront position, you'll relish the connection to the great neighbourhood here at 23rd Avenue. The legal aspects of the property is the stratum and CSA 70D folio 410 being the record of title that describes the legal aspects of this property. 10 working days from today's date or such other date is mutually agreed between both parties. Any amendments to the channels listed on there, Teresa? No changes there. You've got the lift plus the internal access guarantee, certainly a bonus with this property at 4/23 3rd Avenue. That certainly makes life so easy, particularly on a grocery shopping day, indeed, or in inclement weather. You can enjoy the ease of living with this open plan living area that you see just come up on the screen there. Bright, beautiful and light and sunny aspect to brighten up your day in this property. Certainly a perfect inner city bowl, this home here, folks, being 23rd Avenue, nice and handy to the inner city. You've got a great lock and leave opportunity here. You can refurbish and reap the rewards if you so wish. But basically, it's an ideal lifestyle or indeed investment opportunity. So, in your hands, looking for an opening bid now for 4/23 3rd Avenue. Nice and handy to town. In fact, we're in, what are we in here? Elizabeth Street. First Avenue is just over there. So, there's your proximity, not too far away from here. First call now for cash interest. Where do we say go buyers? Second time. It's an auction here. I'm only here to work with the cash interest. Conditional buyers, you carry on afterwards, but I'm here to deal with cash. If you're in that position of cash, third, final opportunity for you to disclose your interest and let me know where you'd like to start the auction away. Otherwise, I'll simply close the auction and leave Teresa to carry on. And around, final call. Auction's closed. Hand it back to you, Teresa. You've got a bit of work to do to find your buyer for that one here.
Thank you.
I'm just going to jump back to our 1:30 session now, folks. As I mentioned, we had a property in negotiation. That property is number 1, Darris Lane. You've seen it come up on the screen there. We left the auction room at $950,000. Man, you've increased your bid to $957,000. Can you just confirm that for me? And at $957,000, folks, it's the owners of the property. You're instructing me as the auctioneer to sell the property to the highest bidder here? On the market it goes then at $957,000 in favour of our bidder down here now at 957. At $957,000, a strategic move if you're here for this one would be to bounce it straight to 960, and I'll call you 3 times for it. First call out $957,000, otherwise it goes. Second time now, third, last opportunity, 9570, 000, 957, 000, rather, it goes. Congratulations, of course, to our sellers. Sorry about the slight delay there, folks. I'm moving on to the property at 19, number 1 Marine Parade, but we just need to get hold of our vendor who is residing overseas. So, Charlotte Gardner's been marketing this property here at 9D1 Marine Parade. I'm going to take this opportunity, Charlotte, to again congratulate you. We have what we call the Golden Hammer Club, which recognises auction marketing excellence. There's a very stringent criteria for the salespeople to exercise that marketing excellence to qualify for the Golden Hammer Club, and it was my pleasure the other day to present Charlotte with the Golden Hammer. So, congratulations, you do a great job out there. I'm certainly very proud of the work that you do, as are your buyers and sellers as well there, Charlotte. So, from its 9th story perch, final this morning, noon and night, folks, what a wonderful, wonderful view. Visualise yourself sitting on that deck there, look at that glorious view across the harbour, and if you happen to be sitting out there one morning and you see a bright yellow and green jet ski scooting across, just give me a wave and I'll wave back to you from your 9th floor here at number 1 Marine Parade. Certainly a property that offers you a full furniture package in the channels list as well, which we legally describes the property as a stratum and freehold. SA 59C folio 821 is the record of title that describes it. Of course, being a stratum and freehold, you bid and buy on basis. We've provided you with the pre-contract disclosure statement in accordance with section 146 of the Unit Titles Act 2010. Any other changes to the channels list there? If we haven't put it all up there, you've got that full furniture package there, folks. So a great opportunity to just move in with your suitcase, unpack, put your clothes in the wardrobe and the drawers, and sit back and relax and enjoy. So settlement date for this property has been set down. I'm just going to need to make reference to an additional clause in the contract, folks. Of course, it relates to the purchaser acknowledging and agreeing to take the property subject to all confirmed rental reservations and advance bookings in respect of the property on the basis that you will receive all net rental income as from the settlement date. So any future bookings, this property's in the letting pool as well, isn't it? So we've got some future bookings there. So after settlement date, you are contracted now to go ahead with those bookings, but of course you get the rental income as well. So the settlement date under today's agreement shall be 32 days from today's date, or such other date as mutually agreed between both parties. So a pretty straightforward process there for you folks with this one here. And the elevated vantage point is, you can see it there, we put the arrow on the screen there, certainly boasts captivating up close and personal connection with the bay's renowned Mount Maunganui as well. You see there on the left hand side of the screen, look at the beach there right on your doorstep, and of course those glorious views over Pilot Bay as well. The interconnected open plan creates a sense of unity between all, and it leads out to a generous outdoor living area as well for this one for you to enjoy. So unlike some apartments where just got either no decks at all or very tiny decks, this one's quite generous as well. So this one here, folks, it's loaded with perks. You've got the heated pool, the gym, the sauna, convenient full service management available for you as well. So here's really your exclusive pass to the convenient living and one of the best parts of Aotearoa being downtown in Mount Maunganui. So in your hands, buyers, where would you like to start your way for this one? Perhaps suggest a 1.2 to get me underway for a property of this calibre in this location. So we start me at 1.2. Thank you. Appreciate you starting with me, sir, at $1,200,000. Happy to travel in quarters from here. Who puts 25 rows on top? At $1,200,000 it is down here. 1.2, taking 25s from this junction now. First call now, are we in or out? Second time for you to get on the boat and pedaling with us. Third, last opportunity. If we did work alongside you then, sir, 1225 on behalf of the vendor now. Vendor bid making it 2.5, shall we? At 1,250,000 on the nod now, 75 will be saved for you here. At $1,250,000, chasing down that 25 rise. Here to work alongside you and work with you, folks. 1250, high bid here. Once, twice, third. Last chance, say you in or out. Right, just go once more on behalf of the seller then, sir. At 1275, take me to 13 if you will. At 13 it is now. At 1,003, still taking that 25 rise to help you here, folks. There's no point in dilly-dallying, folks. If you want to buy, don't be shy. Need to come forward now. I bid down here at $1,300,000. First call now. Second time, are we in or out? Third, last opportunity for you to join us. So we're going to go once more on behalf of the seller, 1325. Take me to 1350, pause and talk at that stage. At 1350 it is. At $1,350,000, there it is on the left-hand side here, with my starter bidder against everybody else, folks. I've called you 3 times. If you don't participate in this thing, we're going to pause, and with respect, keep working with our gentleman here that's been with me all the way. First call now. Second. Last chance, never out, done, finished, silence. Trevor, pits down here, 1350. I appreciate you working with me, sir. Let's allow you to continue discussions with ourselves. Right, folks, so just before we move on with our 2:30 session, we'll just finish off number 9D1 Marine Parade. We left the auction room at $1,350,000. So you've increased your bid to $1.5 million. Can you just confirm that for me, please? At $1.5 million, Trevor, you've got the owner on the phone overseas. My instructions are sell to the highest bidder. On the market it goes then, selling down here at a mere $1,500,000 for 9D, number 1 Marine Parade. Think about what's on offer here. See it on the screen, but don't think about it too much longer because the hammer's up. I'm about to sell it. This is now, second time, third, final opportunity. It goes, it goes. Congratulations, folks. Purchase willing. Congratulations to our sellers viewing by the live stream overseas. We'll get you in about 2 minutes. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and warm welcome to the EVES auction room here for our 2:30 session. We do appreciate you working with us and assisting us in complying with the. It's okay, just answer that because it might be a bidder for the next property. Assisting us in complying with the social distancing requirements, and of course, when you vacate the auction room, I do ask that you vacate through the rear doors as well, restricting it to entry through the front doors here. So my name is Grant Child. My role is to facilitate proceedings here today. Of course, we've got Robin looking after all the technology in the auction room, and yes, we are a little closer together than what we're supposed to be, so don't worry too much about it. Robin is actually my sister-in-law, so we're all in the same bubble anyway, so it's handy for this purpose here at work. If your bids don't take me to the owner's reserve prices, folks, I'll pause the auction, and Trevor, Sarah, or one of the 2 Craigs will step in with you, and they'll give you the opportunity to continue discussions with our sellers at that point in time, folks. And that is, of course, to give you that opportunity to be able to purchase the property today. If I close the auction, then anybody can come forward with an offer afterwards, and that does include conditional buyers. And we do have conditional buyers looming for the properties that we're offering you here in our 2:30 session. Excuse me. So, to the documentation I take you now, folks. Of course, you bid on the basis we've provided you with the buyers and sellers guide. Of course, that booklet is provided by the Real Estate Authority. Gives you all the advice you need to bid and buy at auction. Of course, being a cash unconditional basis, and as is natural with auctions right throughout the country, you are deemed to have accepted the vendor's title without any rights of requisition as well. And that booklet is also available in the stand outside of the auction room as you came in through the entry through the front door, and also in that stand is the finalised copies of the contract of sale that has been circulated for you in this draft form that's coming up on the screen around about now. And of course, by way of your bidding, I'm going to assume that you've read, understood, and accept that contract, but we will revisit this point on the contract, which does cover off the conduct of today's auction. So a pretty straightforward document. If there's been any changes to the drafts that have been circulated, then I will alert you to any of those changes. But as I said, the finalised copies are available in the stand outside of the room. So in terms of the conduct of today's auction, the owners have set reserve prices, no surprises there. Subject to that being reached or exceeded, then the highest bidder, you will be declared as the purchaser of the property, and prior to commencing your celebrations, of of course, we require you to complete that documentation, sign the contract, and of course, part with a little bit of your hard-earned cash and pay your 10% deposit on the property. Of course, the balance is then payable on settlement date, and of course, we do have the COVID-19 settlement clause inserted into the contract. If we do move to a different alert level, then you can make those necessary adjustments accordingly. Now, if I've only got one person that's participating in the auction, folks, then I will assist you to get you to that negotiating platform, and I'll do that by what we call vendor bids. Nothing to be afraid of as far as vendor bids are concerned. Like I said, I'll only use it if I've only got one person that's participating in the auction. It will only be used below the vendor's reserve price. Disclose it to you, and once we've got you at a point on the auction room where the owners are happy to continue discussions with you, I'll pause the auction and give you that opportunity from that point on. In the very unlikely event of any disputed bidding, then it's quite a simple resolution that, with that as the auctioneer, I'm authorised to arbitrate that dispute, or of course I can also revert to the last undisputed bid. So I think, Robin, you mentioned before we had 304 people, something like that, watching via the live stream. So of course we welcome those people watching via the live stream. The auctions go out over the World Wide Web. Don't worry about it, folks, the camera is only on me and the screen, but it does bring transparency to the auctions, and of course that's all facilitated by our good friends in lockdown in Sydney. Auctions Live, and we say hi to you guys and appreciate everything you do for us as well. So any questions at this junction, folks? Just going to put a pause here. I just need a little bit of an update on the first property that we have on offer for you today. Right, folks, we've got the properties at number 16, A and B, Russell Place, and we do have a buyer that's just waiting on final confirmation on approval of finance, so hasn't quite come through. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, that was scheduled to be number one. If we don't sell the properties collectively together, then we'll be offering them separately. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move on to our second offering, and I know Jan Booth is out there at the we're just going to move on to our second property today, folks, and just give everybody that equal opportunity and hope that we get that approval through so we can assist these people in purchasing the property. So we will come back to these two properties very shortly, folks. So in the meantime, 91 Lex Avenue, Jan Booth has been marketing this property, and certainly a brilliant family home with a separate one-bedroom, fully self-contained sleep out that really does make something that's very special about this property at Lex Ave over at the Mount. It is a freehold estate, 652 square metres of land, more or less, is what's on offer, as described in record of title, say 15C, audio 1394. Now the garden shed is as is. Any other changes to the channels list there, Jan? No additions, deletions there. A reminder of the extra clause in the contract where the purchasers acknowledge and accept that you've been fully informed that the transportable sleep out, covering approximately 29.1 square metres, does not have its own water supply and has been connected to the main water supply to the house. Accordingly, vendor warranties under clause 9 of the terms of sale regarding this water supply to the sleep out are hereby negated. That clause 9, of course, relating to vendor warranties. So other than that, folks, everything else is all still the same as has been circulated out there. Jan, we just confirmed 22nd of October 2021 settlement date.
That's right.
A bit of flexibility around that. If you need an alternative date, talk to Jan and she'll certainly assist you in discussions with the owners and reach an agreement on alternative dates. So certainly tidy and spacious as is, with the potential to add value if desired, but not 100% necessary, certainly just a desire. There's renovation plans available for the downstairs one-bedroom suite as well, so all that's been thought of for you here. You've got that lovely outdoor entertaining areas in this property as well. Plenty of room for the kids, the pets, put the tramps up and the swing set up as well. Tons of space out the back there for you to enjoy, and there's even room out the back there. I think fair to say, a location like this, Jan, so close to the beach in the summertime, you're going to get an overflow of visitors, particularly from out of town, wanting to enjoy a wonderful city. So there's room out the back for the overflow by way of pitching the tents out the back there as well. You've got Bay Fair, the golf course there, here. You've got the beach all within a short walking distance from 91 Links Avenue. Now we do have people doing their due diligence on this property as well, but unfortunately COVID and the recent lockdown has precluded them from getting themselves into that cash position. They're continuing to do that due diligence, but auction day has been bought for you, the cash buyers here. So I call for an opening bid from you at whatever level you would like to start your way at. Otherwise, we just close the auction and we continue working with our buyers that are still doing their DD, haven't quite got there yet. First call now for an opening bid now for 91 Links Avenue. If you come to buy, don't be shy. Here's your opportunity to get in ahead of those buyers. Second call now, if you're in that position of cash, just tell me where you'd like to start the auction away. Third, final opportunity for disclosing your interest here at the auction. Obviously no cash interest yet. I'm going to close the auction, hand it back to you. Those buyers doing their DD are going to certainly be pleased to hear from you.
Thanks, Rob.
You're welcome. Alright, we're going to press on, folks, and offer the property number 19, Oceanbeach Road. Jason Hindhill's been marketing this property. We will be back to the Russell Place properties as soon as we've completed this one here. So, Jason, this is certainly a large family home situated in that wonderful elevated position there at the end of that quiet cul-de-sac there, surrounded by some good quality homes indeed. So, certainly a great location here, folks. It is a freehold estate, 662 square metres of land, more or less is what's on offer. SA 65B, folio 72 in the South Auckland Registry Office, confirms all the legal aspects, and of course 20 working days from today's date is still the settlement date, but the flexibility around that, Jason.
There is, yes.
Channels are still the same there. So a nice private sunny backyard in this property, folks. Certainly a great attraction to a home like this. You've got that lovely outlook to the west with great sunsets as well for you to enjoy, and you can just visualise yourself sitting out the back there in these wonderful evenings to come and those balmy summer nights, just watching the sun fade away. Beautiful indeed. You've got the original early 21st century condition with loads of potential to modernise and perfect, and of course that will add value to the property as you move forward through the years ahead of you. Loads of off-street parking, as you see there, coming up on the screen. Of course, that low-maintenance construction is a box that's certainly ticked here at 19 Marae Drive. A very popular location for families as well there, Jason. So, in your hands, buyers, who would like to start their way? Would have thought a $900,000 start would be a fair and reasonable start for this property. Somebody get the own way at 900? Surely. Wouldn't take anything less than that. There's an auctioneer's license or something like that. 900 to start your way. Where are we going, Jason? Bidding? Start me away at 9. Alright, I'll get it underway for you with a vendor bid there at $900,000. It'll be a little bit shy to get going, but I will take $20,000 rises from here. At $900,000, away from my instructions at this point in time. At $900,000, looking for a $20,000 rise. Give me the right advice there, Jensen. At $900,000. First call now at $900,000, looking for that $20,000 rise now. Second call now at $900,000. What's the instructions been written for you there, Jensen? At $900,000. Do I hear 20 from you? Third, last opportunity now. Are we in or out at 900? Happy to advance that at $920,000 and treat the property with respect at $920. Still chasing down that $20,000 rise. Up to you, the rest of you here in the room there, folks. The lady down here doesn't want to participate. Well away from the property's value at this point in time at $920,000. First call now for another $20,000 rise. Second call. Third. Last opportunity. Are we in or out? Jason, I'm not even slightly confused and treating the property with respect. Have you advance on vendor bid now at $940,000 at $940,000. $940,000. Are we in or out? First call now. Are we in or out? Second time. Third. Last opportunity. Not here to dilly-dally. Based on the fact there's no bidding, Jason, I'm going to lift the bidding once more on behalf of the seller. Then Ben will bid at $960,000 on closing the auction and leaving you to continue with your work, because I know you've been working with some buyers outside of the auction. The auction's now closed, folks. If you are interested in this property, talk to Jason and he will assist you from here. Alright, folks, like I mentioned, we just held off on 16A and 16B Russell Place. Unfortunately, we haven't had confirmation at this point in time, so we'll press on, but we do know that there's a buyer out there wanting to purchase the property. So we're going to offer them two ways for you, folks. I'm going to offer them to you collectively now, and if they're not sold collectively, we'll then offer them to you individually. So in the meantime, 16A and 16B Russell Place. Of course, you've got that suburban location with the leafy rural views from the property. It is across these freehold, all described in the records of title SA 24B folio 362, SA 22C folio 1082, 24B folio 363, and 22C folio 1083. Of course, those records of title tucked nicely away securely in the South Auckland Registry Office. 10 working days from today's date, the settlement date for both of them there. Daniel Dickinson from our Mount Maunganui office has been marketing these properties, and I just make relationship to the clause 23 in the contract. The purchaser acknowledges and accepts that the aspects of the dwelling, specifically the bay window on the eastern side of the dwelling of flat 1, does not conform to the flats plan dated 25 July 1977. The purchaser accepts the vendor's title to the property as is and shall not be entitled to object or claim any compensation for such discrepancy in the flats plan, nor requisition for a new flats plan or cross-lease title. So, bidding on that basis, that full disclosure there, folks, you've got the good land space there for flat A that bathes in afternoon sun. As you see there on the screen, plenty of space out there. One of the advantages of this property, folks, is the potential for future development as well, being a combined total on those cross-lease titles of 1,138 square metres of land, more or less. Certainly a wonderful parcel of land available in a superb location. Now, they're being freshly painted from tip to toe, inside and out. The new carpet and curtains has been installed, but still scope to add your own touch and perhaps add future value as well. And of course, a great location like this where you can walk to the Brookfield Shopping Centre. You've got the New World Shopping Centre, New World supermarket there. You've got an array of schools, all nice and handy in the immediate location, starting from the early childhood education through to primary, and then of course you've got the Otamoto Intermediate and College not too far away indeed. So, like I said, folks, we do have a buyer that's just waiting that confirmation. I put it to the floor for any cash interest now. 16A and 16B Russell Place collectively together. Where would you like to start your way? We're going to leave it entirely over to you. Otherwise, I'm just going to close the auction and keep working with our buyer, waiting to hear back on confirmation of their finance. First call now for a start. Second time. Third. Last opportunity, in or outs. Okay, close the auction off there, Daniel, and back to you. Just a few minutes, folks. I'm just going to skip straight through now and offer them individually for you. The first one, of course, being number 16A. Now, we do have conditional interest in this property on an individual basis as well. So I've been through everything for you, folks, so I'm not going to go through it all again. Obviously, a great investment option or first time here with this property, in particular 16A, described as a record in the record title 24B, folio 362 and 22C 1082 as the cross-lease freehold. This is the one that clause relating to the bay window applies to. I won't read it all out to you again. It does apply to this one at 16A. Settlement date is 10 working days as well. So in your hands, if you're in a position of cash, if you want to buy this individually, you better get in ahead now, because I've explained to you the current circumstances and situation with the buyer looking to buy the two of them collectively. First call for a start. Second time. Third, last opportunity, in or outs. Okay, we're going to close that and keep working with that conditional interest as well there, Daniel. So, same thing applies to number 16B, Russell Place, and that is described in regular title SA 24B, folio 363 and 22C 1083. across these freehold, 10 working days from today's date, settlement date. Exactly the same thing applies with this one, folks. If this is the one you want to buy individually, then stamp your mark now. Otherwise, confident you're going to be competing outside of the auction room. First call. Second, last chance in or outs. Tidy up to you in the room here. No registered phone bidders for this one. Same thing applies then. We'll close the auction, hand it back to you, and I look forward to hearing from you and letting you know that we've got good post-auction activity on the property. We'll be back to you at 3 o'clock, folks, obviously, for our 3 o'clock session where we've got two wonderful offerings for you, and indeed we'll see you then. Alright, so we have a slight delay there, folks, but these next two properties have been scheduled for auction from 3 p.m. So that time has now turned over on the clock. So good afternoon, welcome to the EVES auction room here. And since everybody has just joined us, I am obliged to go through our preamble again, just to make sure that everybody is bidding and buying on the same playing field. So my name's Grant Child, my role is to simply facilitate proceedings here. We've been going since 1 o'clock. We've had a bit of a field day here today, selling lots of property under the hammer to such an extent that I've even broken the hammer. So we're here to help you today, buyers. So good luck with your ventures here today and your purchase of your new property, and of course all the best to our sellers as well. Talking about our sellers, we do thank you for entrusting us in the privilege of marketing your properties, and like I said, all the best for this afternoon. Robin will look after all the technology in the auction room, and even though our social distancing might be quite within the regulations as I'm calling the auctions behind the podium, don't worry about it, we are in the same bubble. Robin does happen to be my sister-in-law. So we've also got Trevor, Sarah and the two Craigs on hand here today. If your bids don't take me to the owner's reserve, we'll pass it, then I'll simply put a pause on the auction, and at that juncture the highest bidder will have the opportunity to continue discussions with the sellers and see if we can't assist you to purchase the property. But you just need to be aware, folks, if we formally close the auction, anybody can come forward with an offer, and that does include conditional buyers afterwards. So give it your best shot here. So let's quickly whistle through the documentation. You're buying on the basis we've provided you with the buyers and sellers guide, standard booklet put out by the Real Estate Authority, providing you all the advice that you need to do in terms of buying residential property, and of course you are bidding on the basis of you are deemed to accept the vendor's title without any rights of requisition, and of course you bid and buy on that cash unconditional basis. That booklet is, like I say, widely circulated. They're also available in the stand outside of the auction room. So let's go to the more important one now, folks. Obviously, the contract of sale. It's been circulated in draft form in that context there. And the finalised copy is also available in the same stand as you entered into the auction room. If there's been any additions, deletions, or any changes to that draft contract, I'll alert you to that as we work our way through the two properties here this afternoon. I will revisit this section here, folks, the balance of the contract. Any bids, it's on my assumption that you've read, understood and accept that contract, and like I said, bidding on that cash unconditional basis. This section here does outline we've superimposed it in blue, outlining the conduct of today's auction. Don't expect you to read it word for word. Basically what it says, folks, is the owners have set a reserve price subject to that being reached or indeed exceeded, then the highest bidder on the fall of the hammer. You're then declared as the purchaser, and your requirements are prior to commencing these celebrations, and of course complete that contract, sign it, and that's done, all sealed there. And of course at that juncture you're required to part with a little bit of your hard-earned cash. We only ask for 10% of the purchase price here this afternoon. The balance is of course then payable on the settlement date, and as they vary I'll confirm the settlement dates for these two properties as we get to. So a pretty straightforward process, folks. So if there's any disputed bidding, I'll simply re-offer the property at the last undisputed bid, or of course if I get two bids coming into me at exactly the same time, that's the auctioneer authorised to arbitrate that dispute or determine who I've accepted the bid from first, confirm the level, and then press on from there to give you that opportunity to continue bidding and purchase the property. We have the authorised telephone bidding in place, folks. I'll alert you to that, but the telephone bidders they bid on exactly that same cash unconditional basis as you do here in the auction room. Now, if I've only got one person that's participating in the auction, folks, and I'm too far away from the seller's reserve prices, then I'll simply work with you and work alongside you and assist you to get you to that negotiating platform, and of course that will be via what we call vendor bids. Nothing to be afraid of as far as vendor bids are concerned, just to dispel that myth out there in the marketplace that vendor bids are used to push the price up. What a load of rubbish. Never has been, never will be. Vendor bids will not be used anywhere near the owner's reserve price. It is simply a technique that we use to work alongside you and work with you to get you to that negotiating platform. Like I said, I will only use a vendor bid if there's only one person participating in the auction and I'm too far away from the seller's instructions. And of course I will disclose all vendor bids to you as well. So simply, if I'm holding a vendor bid at any level from the sellers through me, they're saying to you, thanks but no thanks, you will need to be above that to be able to purchase the property. So I'll be happy to answer any questions at this junction, whether it be from you here in the room or any of our viewers, bidders buying by telephone. Currently got 394 people watching our auctions online via the live stream, via the World Wide Web, so don't worry about it, folks. The camera is only on me and the screen, so you don't have to worry too much about that, but it does provide, again, additional transparency for our auctions here at EVES, and of course we welcome those viewers watching via the live stream. No questions? No questions from our phone bidders? Right, so on we go. 7 Hartford Avenue, Leon Santoric has been marketing this property and doing a wonderful job out there. This auction has been brought forward, folks. The owners are in contract. Therefore, there will be no vendor bidding on this one. I'm going to leave it entirely up to you. The auction has been brought forward to give everybody equal opportunity to purchase the property. I will disclose the level of the pre-auction offer very shortly. Robin will put it up on the screen in the place where it calls for an opening bid. Not a bid at that level, folks. It's simply disclosing the level of the pre-auction offer. I will then invite any bids over that level as the vendor has set the reserve at that pre-auction level. So, position for some in the short stroll to Papanoa Beach. This 2-bedroom beauty with a very attractive twist to make every day feel like a holiday is brought to you today as opposed to the scheduled auction date. When was it due? Leon, was it next week? Was it next week or the week after? 7th of October, I think it was, wasn't it? Yeah. So certainly good interest in the property. Very attractive proposition indeed. It's a freehold estate, 640 square metres of land, more or less, is what's on offer. All described in the record of title SA 64D folio 146. Now we do have a consent notice, folks. If you haven't already signed the consent notice, you are bidding on the basis today that you will sign it at the same time as signing the contract. Just stipulating that the main dwelling and sleep out may not meet the healthy homes requirements, and the shed adjoining the sleep out is not consented. Purchase of purchases the property with that knowledge. The LIM report dated 7th of September 21 has indicated a portion of the property is located on the flood risk zone, and the purchaser will make no objection to the vendor or claim compensation regarding what I've just mentioned. And your settlement date for this great opportunity here in Hartford was 20 working days. That's been amended, Leon, to the 29th of October 2021. Any changes to the channels list at all? No changes there. So on we go, folks. The coastal tones enhance the home's beachy vibe here at number 7 Hartford Avenue. If DIY and doing a little bit of titillating is your thing, then there's lots of scope here to add your own touch, mate, or most likely just you could move in, kick back and simply revel in the local lifestyle that this home has to offer. As I said, 7 Hartford Avenue. You've got that central coast location handy to all the amenities. You've got excellent schools not too far away, early learning centres rather, playgrounds, pump tracks, waterway reserves, all that is there to explore, nice and handy to your new home. And again, you see the indicative boundaries there in red, indicative only in red I might add, and of course that's showing the proximity to the beach. That's where you're going to spend most of your summer days indeed. The opportunity is about to slip through your hands if you don't act now, buyers, because the owner is in contract at $841,000, and I'm happy to take any rise on top of that. That's right here, 845. 845 is it? Thank you, ma'am. At $845,000. Highest bid over here on the, at 845 here. At $845,000. 850 is it there, sir?
855.
855, even better, sir. At 855, don't be deterred by that, be encouraged by it, man. 860 it is, and 860, another 10 on top takes me to 870 if you will there, sir. Otherwise it sells down here at 860.
865.
65, taking the fives as well, fighting fire with fire at 870, she says yes on the knot. At 870, making it 8 3/4, shall we there? At $870,000, we've got over here on the left hand side here, selling away to the highest bidder. Another 5 is it on top there, sir. Consultative process going on up there. Just do it, sir. Happy wife, happy life. Excuse me, Betsy, you didn't excuse your wife.
I've got another 2.
Another 2. Down to the 2s now. 875 would be a good strategic move. Appreciate you working with me now at 875. The 2 didn't quite work, sir. Should we try it once more? At $875,000. New owner down here, my left-hand side. Just pausing so I can hear you behind the mask there, sir. At $875,000 it goes. What about a lazy single there, sir? First call now at $875,000. Out it goes then. Won't be taking any late bids, sir. Second call now.
877.
877. 880.
878.
78. Number 2 is it, sir?
890.
890. Beautiful work there, sir, at 890. At $890,000, be encouraged by that, man. Don't be deterred by it. At 890, the money in the back of the room there, your ownership changing. 91. 891. 900, should we go there, sir? It could be the stopper. I don't know, you're the only one that can test it. At $891,000 it goes. The hammer's up.
892.
92, back down to the singles, 3. Immediate retort at 893, back down here in the front left hand side. 94, sir. Absolutely 100% sure. If you're giving it your absolute best shot, your strategic move might be go to 895. Just a suggestion though. Otherwise I sell at $893,000.
One more.
94.
Same.
95. 895. It's only money, sir. You're going to spend it at some stage. It'll be a good time to spend it today on a great property at this location. Think about the beach. Think about those summer days ahead. Regret's a terrible pain. Don't inflict it on yourself because there is no cure for it yet. At $895,000. Have I got your absolute 100% best, sir? First call now, $895,000. I need to be fair to our buyers down here. Second call at $895,000. 100% sure there, sir. Third, last opportunity quickly before it goes because I'm going to sell it right now. Going. One more at the time there. You got the timing of a response there, man, at $896,000 it is. 97 at 897. Digging deep down into the purse again. Do we have another lazy single down the bottom there? What about breaking the piggy bank open? At $897,000 it goes. And we've got your 100% best this time. A bit of deliberation going. You said that about $11,000 ago, mate. First call now at $897,000 I'm selling. Second time now at $897 it goes. Third, last opportunity, in around, done, finished, signed, it goes. Congratulations, Stephen Hartford out here, and of course congratulations to ourselves.